Just want to make sure because we had some little technical difficulties. Studio. Did everyone get a chance to hear that on the panel? No, you didn't hear the audio. Okay, we're gonna try and fix that situation and then come back to come back to the come back to her testimonial and have her we'll play the audio again. So let me introduce the rest of the panel. I'm your host for the night, John John. To the left of me is Q. Q, what up?
What up, what up, what up, my beautiful people?
To
Very
the left of
majestic.
him is my man Norris. Norris, what up?
Good night. Good night, everybody.
On the panel tonight, Nisha J. Nisha J, what up?
What's up?
What's good? What's good? Sassy's in the building. Sassy, what up?
Hey.
All right. Aaliyah's in the building. What up?
Hello, everyone.
All right. And straight out of the ATL, my brother from another mother. I got my man Plus on the line. Plus, what's good?
Plus is muted.
Here we go.
Plus
Here we
is
go.
muted.
Y'all can hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
you now.
sometimes I
Okay,
got to
you
cut my
now.
mic
Yeah.
off sometimes. Hello, everyone. Hello,
All right.
ladies. Long time no
All
see.
right.
Hello.
Hello.
Good night. Good night. All right. As you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I believe we've all been through it or had a family member that has been through some sort of situation like that. So tonight will be occasional situation for us to try and get to understand more about this disease, how we can help someone that is going through it, educate ourselves on some misconceptions of certain things, and also tell some of our own stories or journey that we've been through. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Sassy, which is the I want to say the expert amongst us right now. So educate, please.
All right. Thank you. So, yes, breast cancer. I think we have all been touched, or we've all heard a story, at least one person within our circle, within our family, within our friend circle that has been impacted. I've had several people, family and friends, who have survived,
Right.
who have not survived, who are battling, continue to battle today.
Right.
So just to give some numbers, I guess. In the US, on average per year, about 250,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer. It's less for men, it's about 2,300 per
Okay.
year. It's the leading cause of death for Hispanic women.
Wow.
Didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's new to me.
And for Black women, we have a higher death rate in comparison to Caucasian women. And it tends to be because of a few factors: late entry into care, um, where we choose to get our care, and we are more impacted by a particular type of breast cancer known as triple negative, which is more aggressive. They're still doing research on treatment, but it doesn't respond really well to the common treatment for the more common types of breast cancer that are out there.
Okay.
Okay, so
I want to touch on something not yet though. I'm going to do that in the
Mhm.
second half of the show because
Okay.
um we do know that men,
Mhm.
as you know, and this may come as a shock to some men, but I know about it. And do have breast cancers as well.
They do.
And I want to touch on that, and I want to touch on um prostate for men. That's a big negative situation, and especially in the Black community.
Mhm.
But we'll get into that on the second segment, the second half of the show. But
Okay.
continue.
All right. So symptoms, how to identify. Should I check it out? Should I go see my doctor? What's going on? You're going to look for like redness, flaky skin, usually at the nipple area, pulling off the skin, what we call dimpling. So you see how I got a dimple there? You could have
Right.
your normal breast tissue, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it kind of starts to sink in like that.
Okay.
That's a little sign to go check me out.
Okay.
There's an inflammatory type of breast cancer where the skin begins to basically look like the skin of an orange, and it's very itchy, flaky. So if you find that you tend to itch more on the breast, check it out. How I say it is, when in doubt, check it out. Get a recommendation.
Let me ask everyone, because there was a situation with a cousin of ours, and I know for me, I have never heard of it. I've never didn't even know it could even happen. But the nipple was inverted. Has anyone else heard of that or know of anyone that experienced that?
Or is
Yeah, it's retraction. So the
Right.
tumor begins to grow and it retracts the skin and the tissue. It brings it like sucks it in like a kind of like a pucker, a reverse pucker. Yeah.
Right. So is any other females on the panel? Anyone else has heard of that? I have hold before I go any further. I have another guest on the line, Paula. Paula, good night, Paula. How you doing?
Hey, good night.
Good
Good night.
Welcome.
You doing, Paula?
Hi.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, pose a question to Paula.
Well, all right. Well, we were just discussing as far as the different ways of detecting if you breast tumors and stuff like that. And I was stating the fact that I had a cousin of mine that she had an inverted nipple. So I was asking everyone else on the females on the panel if they ever heard of it or if they knew of anyone that experienced that.
I personally never experienced that, nor do I know anybody of that. However, for me, I am a 17 years cancer survivor. Unfortunately, this is my 4th time.
Okay.
Today was the very first day that I start chemo again because it advanced into my lungs. So I'm very blessed.
Yes, you are. God bless.
When I first started, I was 34 years old, and my nipple was very super sensitive. And I noticed right before having my period, it gets swollen. And that is the only breast that I started to feel very sensitivity in it. And I realized something was wrong. So when I used to squeeze, I used to see a little milky, creamish little milkiness come out of it. Like, you know, when you have a baby, when you experience birth, something like that, you know. So I have never heard of cancer in my life before because I'm from Belize. And I recently came to United States. So it was very new to me. It was a friend of mine that introduced it and told me to go to the doctor and test myself. And so I did. And I was in denial, but first, you know, it started to get progressed more sensitive and more sensitive, and one breast bigger than the other. Fortunately, when I went to my second testing, I was at the first stage. So I catch it very early in time.
Before it progresses.
Right. So a next fortunate thing that I experienced was when I went to my specialist, she explained to me and she told me, she said, "Do you want more kids?" I said, "No, because I have 2 little young ones at the time."
Right.
I said, "I don't really want." She said, "Well, let me give you my best advice." And this is some new experiment that is coming out, that if one breast have it, most likely the second breast will have it. So her professional opinion was to take both off. And I follow her And I'm very glad that I did because it prolonged the cancer.
Okay.
So based
let
on
me-
that,
Let me ask you, when you got diagnosed, was that back in Belize or here in the States?
I think it's here.
in United States.
Okay. All right.
And,
But when you started feeling this symptom in the United States or back home?
No, this is just
in United States,
Okay.
I came here 2001 and I've got diagnosed in 2000, the ending of 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Oh,
based on that, you know, with the at that time, chemotherapy was very rigorous on your body.
Yeah.
During my 1 year taking chemo every week, I experienced emergency room 3 times. And fortunately, for the goodness of the God, I'm still here and I'm still fighting. One thing I can tell everybody, one thing, please, early detection. And one of the best thing that helps me is because I have a huge family that support me. So I have that love
Support.
and I fight for my children.
Right.
Support
system
is good.
The
'Cause
support
I've noticed-
system is
yeah.
very crucial for a female because
Yeah.
you have to understand that when we lose our breast,
Yeah.
I can't speak for everybody,
part
but
of
I
you.
can speak
Right.
for
Yeah.
me.
You feel like less of a
It's
woman
a
or something like that.
mental thing of
Yeah.
just exposing yourself. You don't. It's a mental thing that you have to develop and you have to coach yourself that you are beautiful, you're strong. If anybody
Right.
love you, will love you for your brain and not for your body. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very protective of that. And that's why Norris knows me very well, that I'm a very positive person.
No,
I'm
trust me,
always on
yeah.
the go.
Yeah.
I do not let cancer stop me from nothing that I want to do.
No, you
Right.
don't.
Right now, I just graduated with my crime scene associate degree, and I'm in my bachelor's degree program
Congratulations.
Congrats.
doing
Congratulations.
forensic investigations because that's what I want to accomplish in my life.
Okay.
But now I have a little step back. So now I'm still going to school, but now I start chemo. But I'm so proud that my doctor and I have a good connection, that communication. Ladies, whatever you're feeling in your body, whatever your body speaks to you. It does.
Right.
Cancer is very painful. You have your good days and you have your bad days. It is so painful that your body speaks to you that you must stop what you're doing, go to your doctor and have a heart-to-heart conversation. Because without me telling my doctor over and over, I am not feeling good. Something is wrong with my chest. He's like, your results came back, it is negative. I said, doctor, I'm telling you, I am
Wow.
not feeling good.
Wow.
And
But with
he
your
says, you know,
determination.
my determination, because I knew, you know, I studied my doctor, you know, I studied my body very well. And I'm so glad because of the COVID-19, the doctors, they don't want no patient at the hospital if you're not in that high risk, if you're not between that life and death, have to take chemo every day or something like that. So for me, they put me on the back burner. But every day I call my doctor and I tell him, I said, I'm not feeling good. I need to see you. And he said, well, the best thing I can do is let's go and take a special CT scan to find out what's going on inside your body. And whole and behold, because of the longevity of cancer that I'm fighting, it started to affect my lungs. I'm never a smoker and I never take drugs before in my life. However, it started to deteriorate my lungs now. So 2 weeks ago, I did a tracheostomy surgery. That is, my lungs on the right start to have fluid. So I did a surgery. The first step was to drain. I did. Unfortunately, the fluid is coming back. So next week, Thursday, I have to go and do a surgery and they're going to put temporary a bag on my side that will keep the lung drained in order for it to heal properly so that I can breathe in and out properly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have to tell you guys how advanced technology is right now. It is so advanced that my doctor explained to me, and I'm so happy because yesterday and 3 months, I've been in so much pain and the agony of the fluid in my body and all sort of stuff. So today is the very first day I take my first set of chemo. I do not know how much long because my cancer is stage 4 advanced. And I'm looking fine and I'm still thinking very positive.
That's good.
You have
Well,
to. You have to.
I can attest to that. You will always look good.
Thank
But
you.
sometimes I've noticed when you're at work, it's like, Paula, you okay? You're like, no, I have to go
Yes.
rest. I have to go to the break room and rest. And it's like, next thing I know, where's Paula? Oh, she has to go home. I'm like, damn.
Yes,
It's tough.
because
Yeah.
I put my work in front of me so much that I was refusing to go to the hospital and to the doctors. And like I said, because of COVID-19 and what it does eventually, the cancer started to deteriorate your memory, and you have to try and remember a lot of stuff that you're doing. I don't know how to explain to you as a person that never experienced it. But like I always tell people, please, if you don't have nothing else to do, sit down and listen to your body. There's 2 things that help cancer, that helps you fight cancer. And I could tell you, eat very healthy, get a juicer, and you juice fruits and vegetables every day, and you drink.
I've heard that.
Yes.
I heard that a lot. Yeah.
I've heard that.
I tried everything on the market. I tried soursop. I tried everything you can think about, and I always listen to what people tells me. I always try. But I've noticed the best thing that fight cancer is exercise and eating.
Which
very
you've always
healthy.
done over the years. You've always exercised, so
Yes.
That was gonna be one of the statement I wanted to mention because I read about it. Exercise.
Yeah.
Pertaining to cancer, exercise. So basically, everything to do with your health has to do with food and exercise.
good
Because
cardio too.
yeah, you go to the doctor. They ask you if you exercise. They ask you how you eat. They ask you if you smoke and drink. Major stuff. It doesn't matter what, but exercise. Now that was surprising to me.
Exercise is key.
Yeah.
I also find out that my grandfather died of skin cancer, so it is in my gene. I also
Hereditary.
find out that I have the BRCA gene.
BRCA.
The BRCA gene I have. I'm positive. So
Let me stop you right there. The BRCA gene. So Sassy, can you educate us a little bit more on the BRCA gene?
okay, the BRCA gene is you're a carrier. It's just like if you have HIV and AIDS, you have some people are the carrier. That is something that I can live a very long time versus a person that have cancer and died within 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So I'm a carrier. I have all the genes and everything for a BRCA. BRCA is something that you can live with as long as, to me, as long as you're on top of it and you do all what your doctor tells you to do. If my doctor tells me I need to do this, that's what I've done. There's no question about it. I do a lot of research. I read a lot of stuff about cancer. I find out all kind of different cancer that going, that is in this world that is affecting a lot of young people, old people. BRCA, like I always try to explain to people, BRCA is a carrier. It's just like you have an HIV and you're a carrier, so you can give it to everybody else, but I'm very low. My percentile is low.
Okay.
So that gave me an opportunity or a better chance for me to fight it as long as I am willing to work with my doctors and try new technology, because they're always trying to offer me different, because of my age group and my health and my body conditions, because like I said, I work out. I don't lift weights. I love to walk.
Cardio.
You just do
Walking.
cardio. Yeah, cardio.
Yes.
Walking is good. Walking is good.
And I'm also learning that heat yoga is super good for anybody that is going through chemotherapy.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Hatha, hatha yoga, right?
But the heat, what the
The
heat
heated one.
does, yes, what the heat does, it helps you with all those intakes of the poisons that they're giving you.
Okay. Okay.
Like a detox, huh?
Like a natural detox. So when you leave, I tried it once and twice and I love it. It really rejuvenates my body, and I know it's expensive, but sometimes you have to put health in front of money.
Right.
And you go to the class and you take you do another massage that I do is lymphedema massages, because it's a different massages from a natural massages, which really helps you to make your body, your blood, your red blood cells flow, and then
Sure.
and then also develop your white blood cells. So you always want to make sure you look, and you want to find out whenever you get your chart from the doctor, you find out what's your white blood cell level and what's your red blood cell level, because that's something that you have to protect. Protect yourself from the general public.
Yeah.
Like I know we have COVID-19. I don't go nowhere. I make sure I stay home. And if I do go out, I protect myself with my mask.
Right.
I take care of myself, because I know people, to me, people have the right to do what they want, but I have the right to do what I want with my body.
Yeah.
So, you got to be always ahead of it. And you always want to learn what is on the market. And what I've done is I've always have a relationship with my oncologist, and I want to find out what kind of new chemotherapy is on the market. Like this one I'm taking now is very new. I don't even remember the name. It begins with a B, Brioxin or some kind of name like that. But it's doing great wonders right now in the world when it comes to breast cancer. So I know the regional Joe DiMaggio Hospital is on top of that, and I want to recommend them because they treat me so well, and they're always informing me, and I'm always having a conversation. When you have a conversation, the more you have a conversation with your doctor, and the more you talk to your family and you tell them what's going on with your body, the more you have a relief mechanism that helps you to live longer, and you feel more happy inside, and you feel like I surround myself with positivity, and I surround myself with a tight-knit family that is always on the go. They are always here for me. So that's something that I would want every cancer patient to realize. Even if you have an old person or you have a very young person, everybody wants to be loved. And I think love comes from the Almighty, and that is something that you will have to make sure that you have, because when you are alone, you get depressed, and depression is the #1 killer for cancer. When you have stress, when you have too much stress, when my cancer comes back every time I have a real stressor in my life. I realize that now. And that is something that I whenever I know, like for instance, when my husband was in an accident, it triggers it.
Yeah, I remember that.
When my brother died, it triggers it. You understand? And so
which is normally how the body works.
Yeah, your immunity goes down when you're under stress.
Normal state.
Sometimes you say you're not worrying. Sometimes you say you're not stressing, but your body naturally stressed. Yeah. And one thing you have to do is find something from within. If you like music, if you like reading, if you like to, socialize in the back of your yard or just plant,
just to bring your energy up.
Yeah. Right.
Just
now let me ask.
Go ahead.
Let me ask some of the other females on the panel.
Of course. I'm sorry, I talk too much.
No.
You're doing wonderful.
This is your journey. We invited you for this.
Yeah.
This is your journey. This is your journey. I just wanted to find out from anyone else. Have you ever came into a situation where you thought maybe you found a lump or something, and like she said, she went to the doctor and they kind of said, we did the diagnosis, we didn't see anything. Did anyone else go through anything similar?
I just got a letter in the mail yesterday. It was registered, and I'm like, I hope that's not for me. And I flipped it open, had my name. I haven't spoken with my doctor yet, so I don't know what the diagnosis. Well, I don't know what the imaging says. I did my mammogram, so I need to do additional imaging, but I haven't seen the report yet. So I'm hoping to follow up next week with my doctor.
You have a lump.
I don't. I was just doing my annual, and
Oh.
this is a place. I mean, I've gone to them. This was my 3rd year with them, so they have it in the database, and I'm you know, it really shook me because I'm like, what are they? What extra do I need to do at this point? You know. So, because I know if they don't have like a baseline image for you and they see something, they usually want to compare it or do extra imaging. So it was a little, unsettling yesterday.
Well, my advice to you is do not wait, do not hesitate. Get on the phone,
No.
call your doctor,
Yeah,
and let
because
them want to speak to them. I
for
don't think
me,
they want.
for me as a man, I did one, but it a mammogram. But the thing is, it was fat. I've
Yeah.
always questioned myself
But
as if the right.
what made you go and take it?
Yeah, because I've questioned myself. The right side
Mhm.
looks a little bit bigger than the left. Every time I'm in the shower or I'm in front of the mirror, it looks that way to me.
Black
And-
eye teeth. Black
and
eye teeth. That don't.
I keep squeezing, keep feeling around and all them things,
Checking,
but
doing your
checking
self-check.
But it come to a point where I keep thinking about it too much because I know the cancer situation runs in my family.
Yeah.
And I take it upon my own self. I didn't tell nobody. I just do it on my own. Go to the doctor, find information, and went. And they did it. And the doctor actually tells me it's just fatty tissue.
Yeah, man.
And
Fat,
it's
fat.
just like that, But
Exercise.
and also I get educated on it earlier this week that the amount of men who really have this
Yeah, breast cancers.
breast
Yeah,
cancer,
a lot of guys
and
can.
I'm sure it would catch more guys
and
in
females.
stage 4 because
You men
Yeah.
don't go to the
we
doctor.
don't go to the
Yeah, that's
doctor,
the point, yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, you're not expecting it as
Critical.
a male. You're not looking for it
No.
really.
Yeah,
You brush
We
yeah.
it off.
we always figure that breast
And
cancer is related to
But yeah,
women, but
men do
yeah, we
get,
get
by the
that.
time they're diagnosed, it tends to be stage 4, tends to be
Yeah.
later. So you're
Yeah.
usually for the men, it's right behind the nipple that you will get it. For the women, we could go all the way up into this area. It was all the way up basically to your shoulder. For women, it's breast tissue. But for the men, it's more directly behind the nipple, and then it might involve the lymph nodes. So yeah.
I do want to tell you too, however, that there is a gentleman in Broward that do have a network, a group of men survivors in cancer. It is a very small group. They're getting bigger, and you can be a member. If you want any additional information, he will definitely come personally. He'll introduce yourself, and he will give you all those pamphlets and his phone number and whatever you need, should in case if in the future, if you know any man that is going through, because right now there's not a lot of men as much as women having breast cancer, but it do happen. I do
It
know
does.
of him. Norris, you can ask Miss Noella for his name. And
At the end of the show, we get the information from you.
yes,
Yeah.
so
At the end of the show.
that is something. If you want more information, there are information out there for men that has breast cancer.
Yeah, and it's
I do
also
know that,
there's also a study that says it's declining in women also.
It is going down compared to years ago. Yes.
Okay.
Can I
It is
say
going down.
something?
Yeah, go ahead, Nisha.
I do know that it was reported. I don't know if it was earlier this year, but Beyonce's father was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I don't know if you guys are very aware of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was one of the shockers that came out. I think it was late last year or early this year.
Yeah, about this time last year it was. And yeah, it tends to be in men age 50 and older. But we also have, if you remember, Montel Jordan. I think he might have been in his 30s or 40s at the time.
I forgot.
Yeah, and then Richard Roundtree
Montel
too.
Williams,
Yeah.
not Jordan.
Not
We're talking about Montel Williams.
What did I say?
Williams.
Montel.
You said Jordan.
Williams.
the singer.
Jordan is. This is how we do it. We
Wait.
talking about Montel Williams, the
No,
talk show host.
Montel Jordan too. The singer.
Oh, Montel Jordan had it too.
Yeah. Mhm.
For real?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
I know I think Montel Jordan. Williams.
Montel Williams. I think he had a different condition, but
But I know
Richard Roundtree.
Right,
Richard
Shaft.
Roundtree,
Richard Roundtree.
yeah.
I know he was the first one that I
He's
knew
a
for a
survivor.
male to
Yeah,
come
with
out,
the breast cancer.
celebrity wise, that
Mhm.
came out and try to
Yeah.
educate men more. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know men.
Yeah.
I know the prostate cancer run in men, but like
So
And we're
that's
gonna
where
get
that
to that.
BRCA
Yeah.
gene comes in. So we all have BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. When there's a problem with the 1 or 2, that's where it gives rise to because it helps, those genes actually help to protect us. So when it no longer can protect us, that's when cancer can give rise. So there is a I think it's BRCA2 where there's a link between breast cancer, colon cancer, and prostate cancer. So and within my family, my immediate family, we've had all 3. So it's a little concerning to me, and I'll explore whether or not to get genetically tested. Yeah.
Okay.
this
Any other females? Any scares? Anything that you need to talk about? Anything that came in your life?
Well, I have an incident where I realized I work in a doctor's office, no affiliation with cancer, and I was going around and asking, has anybody registered? Because the month of October, is when they send all the notices about breast cancer awareness, what have you. So I started going around. I started asking a couple of the ladies that work there, are they registered? Just out of curiosity to make it aware that you need to get tested. And
Right.
it was about a good 6 of them that weren't. And it scared me because I knew someone who went to a breast cancer. I don't want to say it was a fair. It was like a thing, and they had a mobile mammogram where you get
Mammogram.
the test mammogram, and she
Right.
was going to accompany her friend, and the women coached her and said, why don't you come and just get tested? She was like, I don't need to get tested. And they convinced her, and once they convinced her, she found out later on that week she had stage 4 cancer.
Wow.
And it
How old? You
scared
know
me.
how old she was? Her age
You know
group?
what? I don't know how old she was. What scared me the most was that she just had a baby, which is very common, right?
Mhm.
Right after having babies, for some reason that cancer just comes out of nowhere. Or if you're pregnant, which a lot of people don't realize that happens as well.
Yeah.
And her and I were pregnant around the same time, and all I kept thinking about was, that poor baby, because I wasn't very educated on it. So with that being said, moving forward, I went along to my coworkers and I told them to give me their name and their birth dates. And they said, why? I said, because I'm registering all of y'all to get the mammogram test. I wind up registering 6 girls to get their appointments. I said, now you don't have a reason. And you can never say that I didn't help. And all 6 of them went. Out of the 6, 3 of them had to go back for more tests. 2 of them had to have biopsies. And they both came back negative. And
Good.
all I kept thinking was like, if I did not
Yeah. How
have
long
that
it would have been?
conversation,
Yeah,
how
I
long would
did
it have
that too.
been?
That
And
biopsy
then
thing, I did that.
and it was one of them that said that her mother died of breast cancer. And I'm like looking at her like, you didn't even think about getting registered. Long story short, I thank God that, none of them are ill or none of them have issues. And, and I have immediate family members that have cysts in their breasts. So they always have to go get retested or have to have an ultrasound. So to me, it's very concerning, but that's the closest scares I've had in my immediate area. And you know what? The neighbor, I go back to her. She wound up moving. By the time she moved, she had gone through chemotherapy. She had lost all her hair. And I just, I think about her all the time and her son, because my son now is 16. Her son has to be 16. I don't even know if she's alive or not. But her son was
Right.
a baby when she found out. And it's so scary. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it's just scary. It's just so scary.
I'm gonna touch something. Before I do that, I have one more person that's joining the panel right now. Janine is joining us, and hopefully she'll take us on her journey. Good night, Janine. Janine. Good night.
Hello.
Can she hear us?
How you doing? Can you hear us?
She's
She's
muted. She's on mute.
Okay. Hi,
There we go.
everybody.
All right.
Hi, Janine.
How you
Hello.
doing?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome.
Good
Thank
night.
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Are you going to take us on your journey tonight?
Oh, sure. Why not? Uh,
All right.
late 2016, I saw the left breast has like a rising on it. Um, I said to my husband, "Does this look weird?" He said, "Yeah." I was gaining weight, so crazy not to think, okay. So we decided since we're gonna change our diet and everything, we did like what was it, like a 2-3 months worth of cutting out certain things,
Right.
and it shrank. Okay, fine. And with diet, you do laps, you fall off the wagon.
Right.
And I noticed that it came back, but when it came back bigger. And he
Okay.
said, "I don't like this. Call your gyno and go see right away." I did. They did the ultrasound. The ultrasound wasn't pulling up anything at all. So they scheduled me to get a mammogram done. I went and got the mammogram, which they didn't have the time for the schedule. So they wanted to say, "Well, you have to wait a couple months." I said, "Well, I'm not going to wait a couple months. This cannot wait. This is really bad." And to the point where it wasn't even hurting as, like something is there. And I called a woman health center. They got me in right away within like 2 days. And they did a memo. The memo wasn't showing anything at all. It was just weird. They did an ultrasound, the same
Wow.
thing. They sent me back. And when they sent me back, they sent me to a breast doctor, and she scheduled the biopsy. And she came into the room and she said, "Did you read your report from the memo?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And she looked at my husband. She said, "Did you read it?" He said, "Yeah, I did." But both of us read the report, and both of
Right.
us did not see where it says tumor. It's
Right.
just something that's just did this over your
Over your
head
head.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
And I did, and the results supposed to came back. It never did, and it came back, but I could not get anybody in the office that day. Somehow it was the devil. I knew it was. My phone was sending everybody to voicemail. Every call that I got that day was just going straight to voicemail. And their office closed at 5. I was there at 5:15 knocking on their door. And she said, "I've been trying to call you. It came back. You're at stage 2." Just like that, within the blink of an eye, it went into my lymph nodes and everything. So right away, she sent me, I'm happy the way she moved, and she sent me to an oncologist. She got me in the next day. I did my scans, a PET scan and everything to show where it was, and it was there. And it was aggressive. It was negative. So that's more aggressive. It moves quicker. It's more, it don't slow down for nothing. And I started treatment, everything, got treatment done, the whole process, chemo, radiation, did surgery, double mastectomy, got through that, had the implants and everything done. Thank God, 2 years passed. I'm at home one Sunday, and I got up and I could not move. My back was just stiff. Everything I did, I couldn't talk right. I'm talking like somebody is just poking me. My brother said, "Sis, you need to go to the hospital." I did. They did an MRI or CAT scan. It showed nothing on there. My daughter was like, "Mommy, I don't like this pain. Please call your primary care doctor." I called. He got me in the next day around Thanksgiving again. This was 2 years later, and he had metastasized. So it went to my back, my lungs, my throat, and my T9 in my back. So it just metastasized. And
Now I'm in treatment. My treatment had to be stopped because the treatment is messing with my heart, sending me into heart failure.
Whoa.
So now I'm on hold with that, trying to get my heart back healthy to start chemo all over again. So that is my journey.
Well, I'm glad.
Thank you for
Listen,
sharing.
you know,
Listen,
you're my sister. You know I love you. You know I love you. And
Yes.
I've been there with you guys through this journey. And just to let everyone kind of know a little bit of something. We sat down last week and I told her what we were doing for the show. And I asked her, I said, I know it's a touchy situation, but on a respect level, I would like for you to tell your journey, but it's really up to you. You can either have me tell it or you could tell it yourself. And reason being why I asked everyone to tell their journey to come on is it's not so much to invade your privacy.
It's to teach everybody.
It's to educate someone to
learning, yeah.
hopefully avoid something. Because that's the main problem with a lot of us is the education on things. Lack of education on a lot of things, because going into I want to touch on another thing, two different things, because my cousin, when I spoke to her, when let me just tell this story real quick. My cousin called me one day, right? And her and I, we joke about a lot of things. So the first time when she called me, she said she had issues with her breasts. And I was on a jokeful thing, I'm just like, yeah, here we go, So when she told me the nipple was inverted, I said, inverted? She's like, yeah. I said, you need to go check that. She said she did. And the doctor gave her antibiotics. Now I know I'm not a doctor, but I know for sure antibiotics is not gonna help that situation, because an inverted nipple is just a rare situation. I mean, I'm not trying to play doctor again, but I know I've never heard it from any female in my family or any friends that I've had. So to hear that and then have a doctor give you antibiotics, I'm like, nah, you need to go see a second person or forget about this guy.
You don't know what the hell he doing.
The one thing I must say that for females, from hearing the different stories, I've heard different stories of females going to check these doctors, and these doctors that give you and I think if I'm wrong, somebody educate me, but I think the mammogram or the ones that they look for the baby, what is that again? The sonogram? Ultrasound. I think that's the most the one that kind of get it the most as far as the tissue. Am I right? Or is it the mammogram that does it better?
It depends. It depends.
Because they're doing the ultrasounds now, right?
Well, they'll start off with the mammogram. If they see something questionable, they'll escalate it to an ultrasound, and then like a ultrasound guided biopsy or fine needle aspiration. So 2 different types of biopsies, and then go from there. So they usually start off with the mammogram.
So now going back to my cousin, when I explained, I told her go check that out. She said she did. I think
for her, they were treating, and then they do this a lot, is that they tend to treat it initially, especially if it's a female that recently gave birth and is like maybe breastfeeding, they'll treat it as mastitis or inflammation of the breast or infection of the breast tissue. And that can lead to delay. So a lot of women, do get diagnosed right around pregnancy or the ending of pregnancy, because during pregnancy, the body actually lowers its immunity in order not to reject the baby. So you see that certain things can give rise within pregnancy. Right. So yeah.
But the thing when she took a while, and I think she had too much faith in this one doctor.
It was about 4 years, right? Or over a 4-year period, I think, altogether.
No, that's the thing with it. Well, when she told me, I don't know how long it was, but
it was
when
like
she told me
2 or 3 years from the initial, and then because of insurance, a lot of times because of insurance.
We're talking about Raquel.
I know.
So I'm saying from the time she told me to the time when I finally got that news where she was in stage 4, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
it was literally probably about 2-3 months maybe. And
No,
then
I think the initial, really? Because I want to say the initial, I remember the timeline was a little different when she told it to me. I think
she
it was
probably
over a period. There was
you
a period
different
of
when she spoke to
time,
me.
yeah, because of lack of insurance. So she fell within the cracks because of that too. Yeah,
And that
they get
I was
lost to
saying,
care.
for a lot of females,
Yeah, I wanted
you
to
know
ask
your
that.
body at the end of the day. And if this doctor's not
Well,
moving in a
yeah,
go get someone else if you can. I know, insurance is another issue and different
yeah,
things like that, but
Yeah.
yeah. Because what I've learned from you guys tonight, you ladies, Superwoman, and the next person from the tape we played earlier.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jasmine.
what
Jasmine.
I've learned from
Jasmine.
you, yeah, what I've learned from you guys, support
Mhm.
and determination. Support and determination. All three of you guys talk about the family support that you had, the people around you, and the determination of finding out what's happening to you guys. You
Right.
never let one doctor say it's basically right here, as what John was saying earlier. A doctor recommend antibiotic,
Yeah.
and
They
you
can't
you
kill
guys
that shit.
never stop to find out because you know what's happening to you. The doctor can't tell you and happening. They can give you advice, but you know your body more than anybody else. And what I've learned is that with this illness, you have to have the support system and the determination.
Yeah.
You guys are
You
superwoman.
should you could get first opinion, second opinion, third opinion if needed.
You guys
There's
are
Yeah.
no,
superwoman.
yeah.
As
Don't
many
always,
as possible.
because sometimes you can meet a provider and you just don't feel, comfortable with them. And that could pose a challenge to your care
Because some
because
don't
you
care.
have to establish trust. Yeah.
Some don't care at the end of the day. Some really don't care.
Damn doctor just
You
want
have to
money.
have that relationship between you and the doctor where you feel like that person cares. That person cares. Aaliyah,
Yeah, you can.
anything on your end? Any as far as anything, diet, anything? Is it mine?
What do you mean?
I'm saying you have anything to add? Anything?
Yeah, like basically they talk about eating, you're eating, and we know you're a person like that, speaks about your healthy eating and all those stuff.
Well, I know she was saying that she does a lot of juicing, and what Paula said, she did a lot of juicing and she did a lot of fruits and vegetables. The question that I wanted, well, not really a question, but have you ever tried to just go raw vegan? Either one of you?
I personally I do not eat red meat. I
No,
tried
raw vegan.
no, I tried it, but sometimes I tend to fall back. Um, I do a lot of fresh cooking. I don't, like I said, I don't eat a lot of meat pork. I don't eat meat pork. The only thing I do guilty of every once in a while is a little piece of chicken. Other than that, I strictly eat seafood, and I do a lot of vegetables, and I do a lot of juicing.
Oh, never raw. So
I tried it, but I didn't like the food. So I did not know how to teach myself how to cook the food. So
no, you don't cook. You
No,
don't
just
cook it. You eat
raw.
it raw.
Just
Oh,
the raw.
that
oh,
type
raw
of
vegan is something totally different. That's why you call it raw vegan.
Raw vegan.
Yeah, meaning that you eat all your fruits and vegetables raw.
Raw.
You don't cook anything.
Janine,
So
have you ever tried that?
I mean, that's the only thing that that's the only advice that I pretty much can give from just things that I've read and talking to people. If you want to try to reverse something, I know that's a hard thing to do, but that I mean, when it comes to your life, that's a good health goal.
Yeah, but remember
I-
also
Hold
Me-
on.
Oh,
Janine.
Janine. Go ahead, Janine.
The raw vegan, no, because reason why I say no for me, you have to be careful with certain things because with the not saying that's just my opinion with
Right.
fruits and veggie where you get it from. You have to
Yeah,
know the source. If you have a backyard where you
exactly.
grow your own stuff, I would say yes, I'm all
That
for it. But you don't know where these people are getting their stuff from, pesticides and all this stuff that's
The
on your food.
GMO,
Oh,
yeah.
the
But
and that's
GMO.
but
exactly what
you're
I was
taking
going to
that.
say
GMO.
But
earlier.
how can you say that when you don't know the risk that you're taking with eating everything else?
That all falls in the same category. It's the same thing.
Well, what do you have to
If you
lose?
don't
What
know,
do you have to lose at that point?
if you don't know the risk where you get your meat from, you don't know the risk where you get your fruits and your veggies from.
Right. So fruits or vegetables
So
is better far more than meat. So what
I
would
know
it
that, but you have to consider
what's
the
the loss?
pesticide. You have to
Mhm.
consider the pesticide because you're gonna say, okay, is there something on the market that says if I use this to wash my fruits and vegetables, no matter what is on it, it can take all that stuff off.
Do
You
you
have the
know
wax
there's
that's on your fruits.
right, that's why you wash your fruits and your vegetables. You can use lemon or you can use vinegar and you can use water. And if you can soak your fruits and your vegetables in that, and then after you soak them, you can eat them. And I mean,
Okay, so if you
everything is a risk. Anything that we
Yeah,
eat,
yeah.
if nobody's saying that, no one's saying that is you're not taking your getting absolutely nothing from anything. Everything has something in it. But once we know that we know for sure that the meat is toxic. We know that for certain. So
Mm-hmm.
we know that
Thank you.
the processed food is toxic. We know that for
Yeah.
certain.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know when we know those things for certain, we want we should try to focus more on the less risk. Not saying that it doesn't have a risk, but we want the lesser risk over the greater risk.
Yeah,
So
because
especially when it comes to our health, even though I know a lot of people don't want to look at the factors of cooking the food and doing all of that and eating raw, but there's so many cases of people reversing illnesses that they have when they go directly to raw food and when they eat a lot better like we should eat versus all of this fake food and all of the things that we shouldn't be eating at all. Even with the meat, some of the meat when a lot of the stuff people don't know that if they're injecting a cow or a chicken or a pig, and they're injecting either one of those animals, and either one of those animals have cancer because we do know that cows, pigs,
yeah,
and chickens get cancer too, right? So once they cut up that cow or that chicken or that pig, when they see the cancer on that cow, that chicken, that pig, they don't get rid of the cow, the chicken, and pig. You know what they do? They cut that part off and they still sell it. So what we're doing, we're ingesting the cow, the chicken, or the pig, and then we're wondering why we're coming up with all these illnesses and diseases when we're eating them every day. So we're basically
I,
feeding the illness that we have continually because we haven't changed our diet.
yeah, I think a more percentage of triggering cancer, it's just my opinion, is food.
Oh, definitely.
That's the majority. That's
Definitely
not
food.
without a
Yeah.
question. That's the
Yeah.
majority. And we have gotten
Definitely.
we've gotten comfortable with eating the things the comfort foods, eating the things that we like when we taste
Yeah.
something. And it's not just I don't want to make it seem like it's like I don't do that. Everybody does it. My
Yeah.
dad right now is dealing with diabetes and high blood pressure. And when you give him something that's going to make him feel better, he don't like it. But and then he is not going to eat it. He's not going to eat it if he don't like it. But the thing that we have to understand and we have to that a lot of times that we don't pay attention to is that even though we don't like something and even though it don't taste good, if it's good for us, your palate will get used to it because it's going to make you feel better. So you have to continue doing it, even though when you don't like it. The same way you continue to go get the drugs that's not good for you and take them, even though you don't like it. If you make your basis, you start your basis off right, then everything else will flow together at the end.
Facts.
So I mean, that's the best advice I can give.
And Janine, are you Janine?
Yeah, Janine.
Janine, you're
Oh, she's
Caribbean
muted.
descent. You're Caribbean descent too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, we don't hear of we never usually hear of this so much in the Caribbean also, you know. As
Well, that's what
Didi-
Paula
Yeah.
said too.
Paula
in,
said,
in
Belize.
Belize,
Yeah.
she didn't really.
Yeah, because mostly, you know, back in the day, you hear, oh, grandfather sick or uncle sick, and you say,
Yeah.
what's wrong? What happened? Oh, nobody know when he died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the older, when you get older, you realize, you know, grandpa, uncle had prostate cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
Because back home, men not gonna let doctor, like I said to my
Eh,
mom the other day.
Because I'm gonna get into that next.
Janine, don't I?
All right.
Realize.
No twanging now. Listen to him.
She just made me know. Say I don't.
Yo, the twang done now.
She just made me realize I don't. Yeah, she talking about.
Yeah, so basic.
Then, you know, ooh, doctor,
You know,
feel up my nuts.
Paula, you had something to say, Paula?
Yes,
Eh?
I'm going to bring up something,
Eh,
and I want to see what other people has to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know when I go to take chemo, when they offer me something to drink, and I ask them, what do you have to drink and eat? Because they always, at the hospital, they have sandwiches and stuff like that. And it frightens me. And I don't know if any other females experience it, but today I experienced it. They said, Miss Paula, what would you like? I said, what do you have? Would you like a hot cup of coffee? Would you like a Diet Coke?
That's my point right there. That's the point exactly.
You want
He gotta get you back.
cup of orange juice? Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I have turkey sandwich. What kind of bread do you have? White.
White.
bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have.
Yeah.
I said, this is for cancer. How can you have all these things?
Yeah.
They
And
do it
then-
every day. They do it in the schools. They trick our children into thinking that they're supposed to have 6 servings of bread when they should not, absolutely not be having 6 servings of bread. And they tell you that's our food pyramid. And they tell you that that's how we're supposed to eat. And then when you're in the hospital and then you're sick and you have all these illnesses, then they tell you, okay, well, you need to be on this drug for the rest of your life. And that's just it until you
And
die.
stop eating that food that was taking care of you.
Out here,
Right.
tells you soda is a #1 killer. White
The
bread is a
sugar,
#1
yeah.
killer. But when
Yep.
you take the
Yeah,
chemo,
I'm free of soda.
They giving
That's
you
what
that.
they
And
gonna,
I do want to
they're gonna
tell,
treat you with.
I also want to tell, I don't know whether either one of you ladies, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to let you guys know this. If you take if you can, if you have time, take a moment. I don't know whether either one of you eat yogurt or not, but if you have a moment, look up the yogurt. We do know that Yoplait yogurt has breast cancer ribbon on there. You see, that's what I was getting to. They have the breast cancer ribbon on Yoplait yogurt, and that is a leading cause of breast cancer.
Allegedly.
Yep. No, that's not
What was
alleged.
that?
That's fact.
Well,
That's
What
fact.
was that?
I have to say that
Yogurt.
for legal purposes. Allegedly. You go ahead.
And you can look it up. They
That's why
said
they
it.
gotta
It's
donate
already
so
out there.
much.
I'm not saying
see
something
Paula.
that's not
I
already
see
out
Paula
there.
there.
public knowledge.
Huh?
It's public knowledge.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And if you they've asked them too about it. And you know what they had to say? Nothing.
But this is
That's the reason why the banner's on there is to give back.
It's
Right,
paid
right.
off.
Right.
It's paid. No, they're paid.
Somebody
to have
freed
that
them.
on
But-
there. They're
Yeah.
paid.
But at the same time, maybe something react for your body and not for mine. Because maybe somebody believes in that and they think they're getting result from it.
Well,
And,
remember,
the next
though.
person.
a lot of them now have
But they're
these
not.
things called probiotics in them. So,
Yeah.
No, it's the
You know, that's
cultures.
huh?
It's in the cultures.
No, I know, but you know what I'm saying. The marketing half of things now. So in essence, they're saying we're making stuff healthier.
Yeah.
So
No.
you know, it's a little it's marketing strategy
try
here.
this
and
year.
there
A lot
too,
of this
you know?
started, it was
But
in the
I'm
late
trying to say,
70s, early 80s when there was a major push for processed foods. And
Right.
it was, the goal was to have a majority of the natural foods that we ate become processed foods, longer shelf life. And so this is, you know, part of the unfortunate consequence
Yeah, that processed
but
food.
that.
what I'm
And
what I'm
when
Get rid
things
of that.
started becoming supersized, if you remember when we,
Yeah.
you know, really technically for juice, I think we should have maybe, I think it's 4 ounces for the day. Then it became 32 ounces of soda. And that became the
82,
norm.
Yeah,
84.
But we're just over
bigger and
sugared,
but
over sugared in America, and it makes for an acidic
Because you got to remember something now. The sugar industry
body.
is a lot
One other
of
thing,
money.
but what
too
I'm
is
saying too.
what type of water do you guys drink?
Oh my God, I learned something about that today again.
Well,
The bottled water is
Paula,
not good for you.
Paula and
Oh,
Janine,
yeah.
do you guys drink distilled water?
No,
They
No.
had, your doctors haven't told you to drink distilled water?
No, I have a
I drink the bottled water.
let me show you my drink.
my water. My brother put a
The
Yeah, I
reverse
got
osmosis.
yes on our water.
You should
One
try
thing
it.
with
You should try
physicians,
distilled.
if they haven't studied it, they won't promote it. So
What
a
is
lot,
that
they
when you
don't
have
want
Paula?
Paul, what do you
It's
drink? What?
alkaline water.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I drink.
Yeah,
Alkaline.
that's what the water osmosis. The thing that I have is just like
Just
alkaline.
alkaline.
I've done
Yeah, you can also look up that too about distilled water.
Distilled water. Well, we know distilled water is, believe it or not, that's
test.
majority of the machines that you use. They recommend distilled water. A lot of you guys probably don't even know that. A lot of
Mhm.
steamers and a lot of things.
Yeah.
You're basically your iron for the iron not to clog from all the
Chlorine
and
and all
the-
of that.
you know,
impurities.
And
Distilled water.
when you look at water and it has ingredients in it,
Something's
that's
wrong.
not a good sign.
No, that's not water.
Yeah.
That's
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
But let me get to the second half now, because I got my man Plus on the line, and I gotta ask him a quick question. Have you gotten a prostate test done?
DRE. Dre, have you had a Dre?
You see the
Really?
reaction? This is the
Really?
thing what I'm saying. This is
Well,
the thing what I'm saying about
have
in our
not.
community. Men in our community, when I got an uncle of mine that's how old is he now?
75.
Uncle Trevor's like 70 something. We call him Buster.
Hold on, I haven't heard.
Okay.
I haven't heard Plus answers yet.
No, we'll get back to him.
You said no, right? You said no. Plus,
I said no.
Oh, you said
I
no.
said no. I didn't go. I haven't gone yet. I've been told by my elders that. Well, I wasn't told to go yet. They told me I need to go sit down. They told my brothers. They was talking to my brothers, and when I jumped in the conversation, they said this ain't my conversation. It told me to go sit down.
Well, how's your brother?
age group? What's your age group?
That's what I'm about to say.
I'm 38.
Okay.
My brother's turning 50.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, your brother definitely. But all right,
Yeah.
for you, believe it or not, you nowadays the rules changed.
Yeah.
All the rules changed because
The younger ones.
yeah, believe it or not, it's some of the younger ones now catching it more than the older ones.
But see,
So
go
ahead.
It go back to what like Aaliyah
Definitely
was
gonna run in my
saying.
family, so.
What I wanted to ask, and there's a question I wanted to ask Paula also. With diet, because like you guys are saying, yeah, we need to go get checked. And my grandfather passed at 92 of the same prostate cancer. Right. For like we were saying, we don't know why grandpa goes in our community. It just ended up, and later on we find out.
Right.
When this happened, we knew because it's modern times.
Right.
But for someone to live, not saying that it's a good thing or and I know that he ain't never eat no processed food ever a day in his life because he ain't never been nowhere to eat none, right?
Right.
And for Paula, when you said that you were first diagnosed 4 years after you came here, did you have any ailments or anything or feel any way before coming to America and indulging in the diet?
When he was in Belize.
Yeah, so when you're in Belize, eating from the land, the natural fresh food, that was probably healing your body, you're okay. But then when you come, okay,
Here.
because because the
That's
reason
why
why I'm asking these questions is like the same thing is like I could probably put timelines together if I go ask my aunts and uncles
Yeah,
about when the doctor visits started flying to America, and then see the rapid
change.
see how fast it changed. All right, the first time you brought him here to a doctor compared to the last time you brought him to one there, how fast did the change happen? What when they gave him that medicine, did it? Oh, now it went to this, and then you had to do something else, or did it slow down?
It's
So, it's things like that that I just wanted to listen and hear about, just
point out.
because I know that runs in. Well, I know that is somewhere in my family line also.
That
So-
that is something of a concern. If I were you, I would take it into very serious, and I would go and get testing. When I first came here, I was very healthy. I
Right.
know because I had 3 jobs. I was the breadwinner of my family because I brought my whole family over here. So at that time, I started to develop not eating healthy, a lot of processed food, getting introduced to McDonald's, or getting introduced to the processed food world, and not sleeping.
Yeah.
And I feel like between that 4 years, something
It's a
triggers.
short period. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
short period.
That's a
That's
short period.
Short period.
That's exactly
So,
lifestyle.
Sleep-
Lifestyle. Because
sleep-
this was abnormal for you.
very abnormal for my body. And I
Mhm.
think that's what triggers it. And when I went to do testings, the doctor told me that I came within 6 months of me starting to have the growth for the cancer. So it's not something that was I had it over a year or over 2 years or 3 years. So I knew when I came here I was very healthy.
Right.
Because he was eating healthy back in Belize. I mean,
Oh,
like, when I
yes.
mean healthy, like natural food. I mean, like,
Yes, we normally go to the farm, or we used to go to the islands, and we used to do a lot of fishing. So so I grew up, just like Jamaicans, and just like everybody has like their yardie food, and we grow our own food.
Yeah.
Because we come
Organic.
from
Very organic.
very organic. We kill our own chicken. So
it's growing, yard fowl. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Fresh eggs.
And
I know what they eat.
to be honest with you, at that time, I have never known or experienced or heard of anyone that have cancer. Never.
Wow.
Until when I came here, and that was a topic that I had to learn from scratch.
Yeah.
And I was not a believer at first. When I believed was when I went to the hospital went and talked to the doctor to have my first appointment. I realized how it was so filled with women. And I like, all these people have cancer? Yes. And I remember talking and being into small groups and getting to find out about the advancedness of cancer and what they have. It really put a shock to my nerves that, oh my God, this is a whole new world for me that I have to learn. And I was one of the youngest in the group. At that time, I was only 34 years old.
Wow.
Wow. So
I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Hunza people? Hunza group? Hunza people?
No.
What's that?
There is a tribe that I'm not quite sure. You can look it up where where what they do is they fast for, like, if I'm not mistaken, they fast for either a month or 2 months every year. And they only fast on, I should have looked it up. They fast on a particular fruit. I can't think of the name of it. So when they do that fast, they interview the people because they never heard of cancer. Nobody in the tribe ever had a case of cancer, and they live to be like 130 or something like that, and they still have kids at like 60.
I have one more shocker to give you guys, and you guys could look it up. My great grand aunt is the longest living woman in Belize. She is 107 years old.
Wow.
She can still have a conversation with you.
No,
Wow. That's good. But it's it's definitely lifestyle. It's definitely
It definitely
lifestyle.
is.
island people.
It
a lot of
definitely
island
America,
people live
because it is
longer, man.
capitalistic,
Definitely
is
is.
very industry driven. So if they need to support a particular industry, it will get supported. Like when pork became the other white meat because the pork industry was suffering.
Right.
You know, so you just gotta be
Dang, that
privy
was a
to.
whole
I'm just
era.
turn down some pork.
That's how
Listen.
she making me feel bad. Cause we just had.
No, there's no
The other
we
white
here.
meat,
Them.
yeah.
So
No. Stop it, line. Stop line.
no, they just add pork. They still have pork to eat
Yeah,
after the show.
he just add the wine to it. That's what he was eating.
No, I don't. You guys, you
So,
know that
yeah.
I don't trouble that meat. But what I'm saying,
Yeah, touch it.
What's that? What's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
you remember if I don't know if you guys usually see one. It used to be on the TV like ABC or NTV in the morning when it
NBC.
used to show the older
the
folks. They show you their age
Yeah,
and how they live.
What's that guy name?
Oh.
The
Hi, my
weatherman.
name is. I'm 80 years old today.
No. That guy. He used to
well,
introduce them.
Yeah.
No, he used to put their picture up.
Yeah.
He was the weatherman on
All right, but
the Today Show.
yeah,
Back in-
but
yeah.
but
Oh, Al Roker.
No, the other one before him.
But what I'm going to with that situation, these people are the country. Throughout the United States, they're mostly in the countries, and
The
they're
rural
telling you they're
area.
The rural area.
101, yeah,
Yeah.
102. She's celebrating birthday at 104. You see, so
So that you
this
got the fun.
has so much to do with the food.
Yeah, I mean,
A
at the
lot of
end
stuff.
the
There's a
day-
lot of factors that contribute to it. You'll find more unhealthy people in urban areas because it's so overpopulated. We need elbow room. We need some space between ourselves and our neighbors for healthy living. Definitely. Apartment
And the
living,
food
not the
industry.
best.
And the food
Oh,
And
industry.
that's
definitely.
another thing. That's another
Because
thing.
then the
believe
food
it or not.
industry gets smaller, cheaper, easier to
That's
get to
the
us
thing. You
because
see,
it's right
because
there.
it's so cheap,
Also,
you're gonna get to that so faster.
A corner store right there. Big.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the setup.
and
But now
and
going back to
also
Plus
birth
now.
control.
Go back to, I think
Oh.
Paula had something to say. Go ahead,
Hold
Paula.
I
on.
just want to talk about females and
Mhm.
about their reproductive system
She
and
just
about their
mentioned that.
hormones. Your hormones have a lot to do with triggering cancer in your breast.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
breast, when you have breast cancer, the first ground it starts from is in your duct glands where you produce milk.
Mhm.
Okay, the kind of food that you eat and the lifestyle that you're living contribute and triggers to cancer. If you are eating a lot of acid foods versus alkaline food,
Alkaline.
it triggers, it gives you into a negative balance. All these things, when a woman body changes, to me, my opinion, every 10 years, when you're 20, when you're 30, when you're 40, what you used to do when you were 20, you're not going to do in your 40s, give and take. So you have to understand the mechanism of what type of food and what kind of food that you're eating, processed food, people saying about the vegetables, and I agree with the lady on the left side that is going through the same
Aaliyah?
kind of cancer that I'm having. And I also agree with the lady in this tribe. I don't know them.
Oh,
Super-
Janine.
Janine
Janine
and
was talking about
Aaliyah.
Janine.
Right.
Janine and Aaliyah.
Okay.
Eating raw vegetables is good, but you have to understand, if you go and you buy from certain food stores, that if you can do a test, because I do a lot of tests because I study chemistry. You can buy a tomato from one place and you go buy a tomato from a next place, and you sit and you watch that tomato, which one spoils faster. Then you will know where you're buying your fruits from and your vegetables from is not the proper place to buy, because all those things are triggering from pesticides.
Yeah.
And hormones.
You do want it to spoil fast. You know that, right?
Yes,
Spoil
Well,
natural.
that's what she's saying.
But
That's
listen,
what she's saying.
because it's more
also-
natural.
Right. That's what she's saying. That's what she's
also-
saying.
also,
She's saying that's how you
Yeah,
get that
because
shit.
you don't want it. You don't want to make it. It shouldn't be lasting no long time.
There are some
No.
places
No.
that I buy fruits from
So my
that
brother
last me
not supposed
over
to
a
have
week
it.
and a half.
Where do you go?
I don't want to say it up here. But
Is it a store or is it a store or is it a organic
a big
or
store where I would want
is
to
it
say
organic?
middle class, you know, because it's kind of a little expensive on the side, so the fruits last longer.
Yeah.
Beware of that.
She's not trying to give up the plug.
But Paula, you know what I noticed too? The vegetables and certain vegetables, when they spoil in it back home in the Caribbean, when it spoils, it rot, but it doesn't carry a smell. Some vegetable, if it's spoiled in your fridge, it
Stink.
becomes
Stink.
stinks.
Not stinks. Stinking.
Very no.
Stink. Not no stink.
Well, whatever we're gonna say.
Alright, it don't normal.
Certain
It ain't
vegetables
normal,
are
man.
Listen, my thing is this.
Cabbage is
My
supposed
thing
to
is
stick.
this. It just sounds like it's a lot of attention on like the
food.
vegetables and the fruit, you know, but that even though you have even yet and still that's way better than what the other stuff is. So
Meat
it's
and all
no
of that shit, though.
comparison
I
still.
agree.
It's
But
it's no comparison.
listen, like I said, I listen and I learn, and I quite
Mhm.
agree with what you're saying. But there's a topic that we have to have a conversation of, because sometimes you want to know something, you want to learn. We learn from each other.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do too, I test my own water. I go on YouTube and I look and I see how they do testings of water, because I did it in the class, and I test all these bottle of waters that they sell out here. And did you know a lot of them are in the negatives, and they call themselves
Spring.
good water, good water.
Yeah.
Spring water.
Beware
Oh,
of
no,
that.
man.
Almost anything in a plastic bottle is going to be in a negative.
Anything.
Marketing.
Mhm.
The plastic,
Because
the
as
bottle
you
in
know,
itself.
BPA, the
traveling
BPA
and everything.
considers too. Yeah.
Water.
So hold on. Before we go,
and-
because we're almost
Yes,
to a
Janine.
closing.
Janine has something to say.
Well,
Yes.
Janine, go ahead.
Oh, y'all do close? I thought y'all stay open all
No,
night.
no, no. Listen, we gonna make it happen. Look. If we going good, we ain't
Last
closing.
call.
No stop. Keep going. Keep going. What you had to say?
When I was diagnosed and I went back to see my my gyno for, you know, to check everything, she told me that it's sad because a lot of the patients that she's seeing now are being diagnosed and they're younger than me, and it all triggered down to the I think, and a lot of people are saying, because mine was hormone, it's birth control.
Right.
Mine is not genetic at all. I had the test done and it's not. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is from birth control and also, you know, the hormone and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just that a lot of
Whose phone is
people
that?
just-
Somebody's phone is noise.
Is that Black IT? That's Black IT.
Yeah.
That might have been
a lot of
Janine. She's
people
laughing.
say
Oh,
you have
Go
to
ahead.
be careful with
Jen,
the younger generation, or the younger females have to be careful what kind of birth control they get on.
that's true.
Because, you know, they can say, oh, your doctor can say, oh, get IUD, and you get IUD and you can still be messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't use birth control. Period.
So I have a question. I
learned that early. I don't use birth control. I don't use the regular maxi pads in the store. I don't use their tampons. I don't use none of that because all of that's toxic, and it just sends toxic waves up into your body that causes tumors and causes cancers in your body. The maxi pads and the tampons. Yeah.
Speak about deodorant, which is very bad for you.
Yep.
Yeah, the
I use
deodorant,
organic
aluminum.
I use organic deodorant as well.
Oh my God.
Deodorant.
Hold on.
So,
Go ahead, Plus.
I don't know if it was a cancer tumor or a cyst, but I know when I was in college, one of my friends that we was only 18, 19 at the time, ended up having to get they said it was a cancerous lump cut out of his breast, and they said it was from the deodorant he was using.
Mm-hmm.
That the deodorant stopped them from sweating, So
Yeah, we need to
everything
sweat.
Yeah,
built
they
up
say
We
the
need to
one,
inside.
sweat.
the one that
We
says
actually need to sweat. Yeah.
If you don't sweat, you know better than a pig.
Yeah, I sweat.
they say the
Antiperspirant.
one that says antiperspirant.
Antiperspirant.
What
Is
Yeah,
antiperspirant?
so is that
antiperspirant usually has aluminum in it, and so the
Yes.
aluminum. If you if you have an old piece of cloth, just swipe some aluminum-based antiperspirant, and then leave it for months, maybe a year. Go back, take it out. You see it; it'll sparkle.
Still sparkle.
The aluminum is still there.
But
is
what
that
can
a
we
form
use?
of
What can we
men
use?
breast cancer, or is that just a total different? That's just a whole different
That
thing.
might be. That's the axillary. It might be from the lymph that was in that area.
That's
It
The
clogs
lymph
the lymph
node.
nodes.
Yeah.
okay.
So you
One of the things
plus
that
you
they
might have to do
also-
what Capleton does. Cause Capleton say he don't use that. He use like what he use? Like something leaf, something eucalyptus leaf or something like that.
The
Something
leaf.
like that.
The leaf.
Baking soda.
Yeah. Or
What
baking
you
soda.
know-
But I know
Use
Capleton. What he
baking
said, he
soda.
used
No,
some
but
sort of
Yeah, some people use
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
stuff.
Rastas don't use deodorant. That
Yeah,
is-
yeah,
Nah.
they
independent
don't,
citizens, they don't. Yeah.
what
yeah.
a
they don't
woman
use
does,
it, but they have to be in
But-
the studio by themselves working.
One thing about that too is the muskiness that the reason why people use deodorant is because they're musky. Do you know what causes you to be musky?
The toxins out the food that you ate in your
Oh,
body.
yeah, the toxins. Yeah.
The meat.
Mm.
Rotten meat.
Is what causes the muskiness. You know, the fact that I don't the when I stopped eating meat, and I can't remember how many years, well not years, how many months, but I think I did like several months when I wasn't eating meat. I noticed that I didn't have sensitive teeth and I didn't have body odor anywhere, vaginally, under my arms, or nowhere. I sweat and I didn't have any odor. So the purpose
makes
of
sense.
the purpose of the deodorant is to stop the muskiness. And if you want to eliminate the muskiness, eliminate the
Yeah.
food.
One of the
And how
tricky
can
That
you?
makes sense.
factors-
Some days
when
I
I
don't
was
even
eating-
wear now. Some days I don't even wear deodorant, and I don't get musky.
Oh,
One
so
of
you
the
buy the
triggering-
natural deodorant.
No.
One of the
I have the
triggering
natural
factors for females-
organic deodorant.
Right. One of
Hold
the
on.
Go ahead,
Paula.
Paula.
Hold on one second.
a
Right.
very important note. When women shave, we have tendency of using deodorant immediately. That's a big no-no. When
Oh,
you
I
shave,
never did that.
you wait,
You open up your skin and
right? You wait like a couple hours, then you use the deodorant. It is
Yeah.
very bad for you to shave your armpit
And then
immediately and put those toxic underneath your arm.
Oh, because the pores, you're opening up the pores to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
cuts usually get
You-
cuts anyway.
Stuffing it in there and then
You
closing it
guys-
up inside.
Yeah.
you guys put me on the hedge now. I don't know what to do with my underarms. I don't know what water to drink.
You just
Hold on.
start. You
Hold
just
on.
start. You know, I didn't start everything right away. You just start gradually as you learn. You start doing things one by one, and eventually, everything that you have, everything that you do, it becomes you're keeping the toxicity down in your body. It's because that's the
Yeah,
whole aim. You want to keep the toxicity down in your body. So once you keep the toxicity down to a certain level, and you're getting rid of food just as fast as you're eating it, and you getting rid of it, it's gonna keep you more balanced, your body
Yeah.
balanced more.
Okay.
So that's why you don't eat all day long.
Hold on. Go ahead, Noise.
Question.
Noise.
What about those females that get those breast implants? What that cause
Implants?
cancer too and all of that? Yeah.
It we won't directly say that it causes cancer. What it can do is
When it ruptures.
during the screening, if there is something there
Yeah.
within the natural tissue, it could be blocked by the implant.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it takes a little bit more for them to identify what's going on if
Yeah,
implants are present.
Precisely.
I knew of someone who did it, the implant, and it was so rapid when she left us. It was so rapid, I could not believe, but she had huge implants.
And that they couldn't.
It
they
varies.
couldn't
Some
tell
women do develop like lupus from the implants and things like that. So yeah, there's different things that can develop for certain women. from implant?
Well, I can tell you the implants that I have in now, it's for cancer patient only.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
So
it's
it's a
a
different
different
Material.
material that I have in me. However,
Okay.
I just did a heart stress test last 2 weeks ago, and it was one of the hardest things for them to get the results that they wanted. I went through three nurses trying to push my breast with it on the side because they're not getting the proper heart rhythm.
Okay.
I had to take injection. Forgot what the thing name that they put inside of me. A contrast, sorry, in order for the heart, for them to get the correct results, in order for me to get approved to take this chemotherapy that I'm taking now. I had pain 2 days after with my breast.
Wow.
Pressure.
Wow.
On the side, the pressure. They have to go from the back, and they have to go underneath the this piece of the armpit. It's a very rigorous and very painful just because I have the implant. Now I'm deciding because of my age. The next topic I want to speak to my doctor is I don't want them anymore.
Take them out.
How many years have you had them in now?
17 years.
17. So the usual length of life of it is about 20. So yeah.
Yes, but let me tell you that I have learned. Right now, my cancer came back, and it's right behind the whole. This plastic, from one end to the next, there are small little dots of cancer tumors, all from one side of the left to the right.
Wow.
And I overheard a conversation of one of the nurses. They were talking about it, and it triggers my mind. What if I didn't have it in? Maybe I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through now. So that's a topic that's a next journey that I want to take.
Yeah.
And see.
There's still a lot to learn. There's still, a lot developing.
There's a lot
I mean, to be honest with you, if we can all somehow find a way to educate each other, even outside of this platform, and anytime you guys want to bring any information back to the platform, you're always welcome back.
Yeah.
Always welcome back, because the community needs to know these things, the misinformation, uneducated about certain things. And before I go, I just want to go back to Plus. And Janine, I don't know if your husband is nearby, but maybe you can ask him a question also. Has he done a prostate exam at this point also? Now, I know he's not going to come on camera, but he can relay the message. Right? And I know he can hear you because I know he's in the room, but that's why I'm putting him on the spot. Right. So I know he could just give you the hand signal and you can give it back to me.
His answer better be different than mine.
Why?
Because, see, if I had someone next to me going through that, I wouldn't have no choice.
All right. So
I wouldn't have no choice.
You heard what Plus said. So what is his answer?
He on the way tomorrow.
Huh? He said.
What he said? Nope.
He gonna take his from me.
He said, "Play with my number."
What he say?
What he said?
He said, "Play with my number."
Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you one thing.
And that's the thing.
The guys that are
all right, so
that's
I'm
the
waiting
thing.
on technology to advance.
Yo.
No, let me tell you. For the guys.
That's the
for
thing.
women, we can say this. For women, we can say this. We may have experienced at some point, especially in a teaching facility, that the main doctor, the primary physician, may want to come in and they may have residents with them. Oh, I have these two I'm teaching. Can they come in and shadow? Yes. Okay, let me tell you something. For men in that area, whether it's urology, I've worked in radiation. I've been a nurse for 12 years, 11 in the outpatient. I've worked in men's clinic and I've never seen that performed. I am not included in that process. They will never let a female in. Okay, it's strictly the doctor and the man.
And that's the reason why people say it's violation.
I mean, what do you mean by that? That is so private. The doctors hold your, I mean, come on, compared to women, we know women, we're up there with our legs spread, and then it comes like a whole group of people wanting to shadow and take a look. And it's like, whoa. But for men, it's like sacred. No one's included. The spouse, the wife has to leave the room. So it's really not that long. It's less than 5 seconds.
I want to give this, because I got an uncle of mine, right? And I know he's not watching, but I'm pretty sure one of his sons or one of them are watching. My uncle Trevor, and he was the original Buster before Buster. Okay, so this is the original Buster of the crew. So my uncle Buster, he's like, what is he now? Like 76 or something like that?
Maybe I think he might be 70.
Yeah, around that age. Yeah,
about that. And we had a discussion one time, and I asked him, I said, yo, have you done a prostate exam? He said, what? Never. So I said, yo, I said, are you crazy or something? He's like, I will never let anybody go nowhere near that. I said, listen, hold on. You got to understand something. In this day and age, it's not so much on form of a violation, but it's just, would you, all right.
Don't they have new ways of doing it?
There's no new way of doing it. There's a PSA, there's a PSA you can do. There's a PSA exam.
They still gotta feel it. They still gotta measure it.
Yeah, so here.
Wait, hold on, wait. They gotta do what?
It's the original way. Hold the ball.
What's going on? They'll measure it. So they'll
measure.
No.
It's the original way. Feel the balls.
No, they don't. What are you talking about? What you go get?
Hey,
they don't.
You
know what you talking?
It's done from the rectum. It's done from the rectum.
Yeah.
It goes in and then it turns that way, then it comes out.
No, I don't know, yo.
So it's like this.
Listen, it's a two-second situation. No. Norris went to the wrong doctor. Hold on a minute, Paula. Norris went to the wrong doctor. Norris went to the whole different wrong doctor. Something happened different. Now we know why. No, that's not a prostate exam. That was a strip club. That's something totally different.
Did you know the number one killer in black men is prostate cancer?
Yes, because of that situation.
It's a slower growing cancer, but it can be aggressive at times.
So now
this is what I try to explain to them.
Doesn't have a way of doing it.
It sits stagnant until somebody finds it, and then it kills you right after.
But listen, hold on.
Bro, you're like, no, that just happened, and we gone.
But listen, here's the situation with it.
90 years
it's a 2 second. It's literally a 2 second situation that goes down, right?
It's real quick.
That could change. That could be the make or break situation for your life. A 2 second situation, or you not seeing your son ever again, and your son has to deal with certain things. You understand how it outweighs everything in between? Because whoa. Let me just tell you something.
Have you gotten tested?
Let me whoa. And this is yes, I have gotten tested. I have gotten tested. I don't have no shame.
Sure.
But listen, here's the situation now. A lot of these guys that want to talk all this, do you realize when you get somebody get locked up and you in jail and somebody telling you to cough and do all these other different things, or if they feel like you was hiding something, you still getting it?
A cavity check.
You still getting it. So now I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. You should have no excuse in nothing, because a lot of them dudes that got locked up, you was getting that done. Don't get it twisted. You were getting that examination done for free.
Who here been in jail?
I haven't been in jail.
Yeah, come talk about lock.
I'm just saying. But I'm just saying there should be nothing, because at the end of the day, that is exactly what's happening.
I get what you're saying. But
you understand? So if they can violate you, what you feel is a violation.
Corey, if you explain it like that, then I'm definitely
no.
You comparing it to jail.
No, I'm just saying. For me to tell you how important it is, you know what I'm saying? If the reason why I'm saying that, the importance of it, if you have your freedom, and the importance of it is knowing your kids, because that's what your whole purpose is. If you have kids, is to make sure you're here to see them. You understand? So if I'm saying to you, what outweighs the situation a 2-second situation because a lot of these guys feel it's a violation. So what I'm saying to you is, if you have freedom to choose something, you're outside. It's not like you're inside. Inside, you have no freedom. And in the term being violated, I hate to use that term, but that's the term that they use amongst us in the hood, why they don't go and get it. So what I'm trying to say to you, the importance of it is to know that you will be here tomorrow to see something rather than put that machoism in front of you and I don't see you tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying,
Yeah, what you saying?
the technology is changing and everything. Don't you think they have other ways of
No.
doing it also?
No.
That's the thing.
No.
That's my question. Like, so what?
Why-
That's the beginning. It's
You guys are
once
not
a
in medical
year.
field. Oh, you know.
No,
Oh, you guys acting like every time you go to the doctor.
no,
you
no.
gotta
I
get
just
a
no. I
once
really
a
just
year
want to know
check.
what is it that
They're checking for the size. They're checking to see
Right,
if there's any
right.
degree of enlargement.
Right.
And then if that's the case, then they have to refer you for further testing.
So
Right.
why?
All right.
What is it that they can't? Because
I have
if I could do an ultrasound to see a baby inside of a body,
That's
why
on
isn't there something
It's the
that
insurance
that's my
companies.
question?
There's certain things,
Listen.
steps. It has to go in certain steps for insurance purposes,
I
unless you
did it.
want to pay out of pocket for your ultrasound.
Listen, the
I
same
did
way
it.
how women have different type of knowledge that something is going on wrong in their body. I believe that men have the same symptoms.
do.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
trouble
You have
urinating
rectal,
usually.
you have dysfunction, you have urinary
That's the main
dysfunction.
one. Urinary.
You know, you have, when you look, if you
But
stand in
blood-
front of the mirror, like
blood
what
in
the
the
young lady
blood,
said, you have one side bigger than the other. Those are symptoms. Don't
Right.
ignore those things.
Right.
Those are not natural.
Yeah.
So why don't you just make
Yeah,
an
and-
appointment? If you feel uncomfortable, you ask for a female doctor.
Do they drugs you?
But Virgin.
No,
Hold
it's
on,
really
hold
quick. It's
on.
like under 5 seconds.
Hold on.
No.
they don't.
No. Listen, hold on.
Okay,
They might use
well-
some lidocaine cream. I mean,
Plus,
I
plus,
went
plus.
to.
Yo.
I did
Let me
one.
let me
I
educate
did
you on it.
one.
First of all,
Let him
the
go.
first
Hold
level,
on. Let him go ahead.
a lot of them will take blood. So the first part of it, they'll take a PSA. A PSA can tell you,
if their
can
numbers
kind
are
of tell
above
you where the numbers
4.0.
are. To tell you, if it
Tell
looks
you
high,
everything.
if it looks high, then they'll say, okay, you got to go deal with a prostate situation. You see what I'm saying? Then you go deal with an expert that deals with that. With that whole situation.
all right,
what
so
they-
so
Go
you
ahead.
take a blood test first, and then they tell you to go in there, and then you go take something. else.
No, that's only if
Well,
you
no,
have a
no,
family
no.
history, a primary
Right.
family history, like
Right.
your father or uncle.
right.
So no matter what, the first step is
They're gonna have to touch.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me hear what Q gets. Q say he took one. So go ahead.
No, I did one, do the blood work and stuff, and I also went to the major hospital
Right.
where I went. They after the procedure and everything,
Mhm.
I was drugged. After the procedure and everything,
I don't know why they drugged you.
After the procedure and everything,
Yo,
listen,
yo, they
I
push up something now.
I eat a camera.
Yeah.
I have the photos at home.
No, I
When-
want to see that.
listen,
I want
this
to
is not a joke
I don't
topic.
want to see that camera.
This is not a joke topic.
No,
I know that. but
I
don't wanna see
got
that
the
camera.
photos at home.
No, keep that photos at home.
At
Yo.
Jackson. Jackson.
Q.
Huh?
That's totally different. That's a colon. Are we talking colonoscopy?
That's a colonoscopy.
No, we're talking about
Yeah.
checking the prostate.
Well, that's where I'm getting to. That's what.
Hey, wait a minute.
Prostate.
Hold on.
Colon.
I think Norris and Q went to the same doctor.
I'm lying.
No.
I'm lying.
No, listen. What we're talking about.
No. Yo, his
Y'all
doctor
trying to
different
set
from
me
mine.
up.
Hold on.
You trying to
Explain that. That's why I'm asking him. Why did they put you
Yeah.
under? I don't.
Yo,
Like,
Now it makes
That's
more
totally
sense.
they playing the book.
I'm like,
They
you-
playing the book in
It's
town.
only
What?
2 seconds, but they knock you out.
What?
Wait.
I did
We
not.
were on prostate, Q.
I did not get the chance to explain
All right,
to
go
know
Go
the
ahead.
difference.
Finish.
Okay.
To know the
Okay.
difference.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
trying
figured
to
because
figure
they're
out
doing
the
a colonoscopy,
Hey.
they could just take a look at your prostate?
Hey, they playing the bug
You see what
inside.
I'm
somewhere,
saying?
player.
That's what you think, Q? Since they're
You see
doing
what
your colonoscopy, they might as well just take a quick look at the prostate and tell you
Yeah,
what
they-
it is.
they-
No, two
I'm
different
not
things.
sure.
He's getting a 2 for
I
1.
think you need to go check your doctor. 'Cause something went wrong. I think
No,
The probe. They
no,
put that.
no.
Hey.
It's what was happening to me,
Them
and I
probe.
went to do
You
that.
start. You're really starting to scare Plus right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see
Boy,
what I'm saying?
And I'd be like 2 seconds,
Plus-
but you had to knock you out for 2 seconds.
No, we're
Like,
not gonna listen to what Q said. That's 2 to 50. It's a whole nother. That's colon cancer. That's another segment. Another
Yeah,
podcast.
you're scaring Plus right now. Plus, they're not gonna put you to sleep.
No,
Guarantee they're not gonna put you to sleep.
No,
all right, they ain't
it's
gonna
real
put me to
quick.
sleep.
It's under 5 seconds. It's
It's-
just
I got
you and
time.
you. It's
I
just
got
you and
time.
doctor.
but it's
Okay,
serious.
my
Let me
It's
tell you how
question
cool it is.
regarding this.
Go ahead, Janine.
It's
My
serious. It's
husband
serious.
say if he gonna get his prostate done, who gonna hold it?
Who gonna hold it?
Nobody's not holding.
and do this?
Hold what?
He
Who's
holds.
holding? No.
He holds it. Nobody's
It's
not
a
holding
quick
nothing.
drop in your pants.
You drop
And
it?
you lay on the table real
Yeah.
quick. You
This
stand
sound
up,
Yeah.
good.
drop your pants real quick, lay on, bend over on the table. Doctor goes in, turns finger, takes it out, you're done.
Drop
Nobody
it.
And I'm
See,
knows.
that
telling
sound
you,
like high school to a lot of y'all, but not
the
me.
doctor, the doctor distracts you. Listen, I remember the last time I went to my doctor, and
The doctor
he,
said,
like he
"Drop
said,
it."
he had the female, the practicing person that's coming in or whatever. She's a professional too. So I said, okay, look, let me get a switch out. Let me get her. He would not give me her. She's like, no, she can't. Why she can't do it? I'd rather.
That's a lot. That's a
She was
lot.
paying to watch.
That's why I kept asking him why she can't do it. This would make more sense now, but he's like, no, I have to. I'm like, oh man. No,
But
no,
you know why?
listen,
Because even if she's still learning, even if she checks, he still has to check behind her. So if you
So I
want to
guess
double,
and you know what? She set me up. She set me up because
So
while we were sitting
females-
there, I said, yo, so I'm gonna get you to do it, right? She said, I could do it. I said, yeah, I want you to do it instead. When he came in, he said, nope.
It's my first time hearing a female doctor doing it. Everybody's talking like it's just male doctors.
primarily, yeah, most doctors are male.
Yeah.
And then most that you would visit, usually you will see a
I ain't
urologist
never had a female doctor offer that.
or be
yet.
your primary.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah, I ain't never had a
internal
female
medicine.
doctor even suggest.
Hold
Like,
up.
I think that's what I've been waiting on. Like, one to say, "Hey, you want to try this while you're here?" And I'm like, "All right, cool. While I'm
Plus,
here."
you're a fool. Plus,
But it just be dudes be like, "Oh, no,
But now,
bro, I'm
listen,
good."
hey, listen this. Me and him didn't go to the same doctor. But anyway, hold on. Let me hold up. I'm not done yet. Now, my sophomore year in high school, when I was going out for the JV football team, we had to go to. They took us to Doctor's Hospital in Coral Gables.
High
Now,
school?
yeah. When I was going out for the JV, all of us had to go to get checked. The whole JV squad had to go check.
Catholic school.
Boss man. No, let me finish.
No, I'm asking, is a Catholic
It's not a
school?
Catholic.
Oh,
Coral Gables Senior High School.
okay.
Coral Gables Senior High School, my sophomore year. High school.
Mm.
The whole JV team, they took us to Doctor's Hospital. They tell you to drop it and they look up your butt. They didn't stick no finger up there. They just tell you to drop the
Too graphic. Too graphic.
I don't know. Hey.
Countryman.
The whole
Yeah, I forgot we got the countryman there, sir. Too graphic.
The whole entire JV football team.
That's
Even though
unique.
basically
Who else was there?
Hold
Trump,
on.
Weinstein.
Hold on.
That's
Hold
not football.
Hold on.
He did not
So they was
experience
doing that back in the 70s?
Ain't no damn 70s. Hey, like I said, me and him, we didn't go to the same doctor. They put something inside. They put something inside of you.
No, I don't know if it's a Catholic school you went.
Catholic school.
So listen. I want to
Man.
thank everyone tonight for
Carl
allowing
Gables
us.
Thank you for our survivors.
Yes, thank you very much.
Janine,
Thank you very much.
Jasmine, we're gonna cue up Jasmine's video. She
Yes,
had to
but-
work, but she wanted to contribute.
Yeah, before we go, we have to
You got
she's a survivor also. She's a family member. She's loved by all of us. She's a regular on the show. So Jasmine, we're gonna just play her journey and what she has to say also. And before we close, I'll just give some few words to everyone.
Did anybody hear when she played?
Can't hear.
Yo, they can't hear still. Hold on a moment.
Hold on.
Can anyone hear?
No.
Still can't hear.
You still can't hear her.
Is that up? It's not up.
a little bit difficult.
All right.
They would have to go and
We're
All right,
gonna try to
all right. We'll
merge
we'll
it and attach
Upload
it.
it. Yeah.
we'll try and merge it in some way. But okay, for closing now, I want to applaud each and every one of our survivors tonight. The resilience,
You guys are a rock.
the resilience, because God knows, I know, Janine, I've been in the journey with the whole family, because it's the whole, it affects the whole family, and I'm pretty sure Paula, it has been the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I know with our family,
I've seen it affect that.
it has been the whole
Support
family.
system.
So I want to applaud you guys for taking the time out and sharing your story and educating others.
Thank you.
And educating others, because that's the most important part of it. And like I said, it was never really to get into your private life, but it was more on educating the community. Because I know if there was ever any information that you could have found yourself that could have helped the situation or prevent certain things, you would want it yourself. So on that note, listen, I'm blessed to know you guys. I'm blessed to know you guys. I'm blessed that you're still here amongst us, because with your resilience and your strength, we should have nothing to complain about.
Nothing.
You see what I'm saying? We should have nothing to complain about.
Nothing.
At the end of the day. And I would just ask people nowadays to learn first of all, to love life, cherish life,
Love
and
others,
thank
too.
God, and thank God. Learn not to complain so much.
Live life to the fullest.
And live life to the fullest, and be thankful for the smallest things, because believe it or not, this is overlook in life. But learn
we
to
complain
be
of a headache.
a human being in life nowadays. A human being in life nowadays, because that's what this whole thing is all about. The blessing that God gave us, the people that we come in contact with, the lessons that we learn, and we can pass it on to others. So with this, I thank you very much for joining us tonight, so that we can pass the baton on to others and educate them. Jasmine, you're not here, but I want you to know we all love you, and we're here riding with you. Paula, we love you. We're here riding with you. If you ever need to come back or whatever, if you need to just talk,
Thanks.
you're a phone call away. Janine, you know we love you forever,
Yes,
forever,
yes, I know.
forever.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
forever. So,
Yes.
and for the rest of the panel, I thank you
Thank
all
you, ladies. Thank you.
Plus, please, I'm gonna keep checking up on you, my brother, and I'm gonna make sure.
Yes, sir.
Please don't let nobody scare you into no foolish tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Like you here. You know what I'm saying?
Don't. It's not that serious, but
Hold on up.
we'll write it out
before I go.
See, here's the thing: if Q stopped twanging, he could probably pronounce it right.
Yeah.
Try it now without the twanging. Tell him.
Colonoscopy.
Sit that. But plus, please take it serious, because what you want to see is your son graduate, him get married, him move on in life,
Have grandkids.
and
See your
yeah,
grandkids and
grandkids,
all of that
because
stuff.
a 2-second situation is much better. You not seeing nothing at the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ever let anybody scare you into no foolishness, because sometimes that same person that's telling you that,
he got it too.
he got it done. Okay? Got it done. So don't let ignorance put you in that corner. Don't let it happen. And it's never on this thing. Oh, I'm too young. And go, if you feel a funny way, or if you're going to the doctor, just go check it. Just go find out. At least do the PSA to start off. At least do that. Okay? Please. My brother, I knew you for years.
I didn't even know that I didn't even know one of those existed.
Yeah, it does. Talk to your primary. He'll tell you. He'll tell you. So please check into that when you get a chance, because we're all getting up there. We're all getting up there. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you all for coming live at the barbershop. Once again, we can be found on all different platforms, from Anchor, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify,
Instagram,
iTunes, and we invite the public to always get involved. Paula, we thank you. Janine, we thank you. Plus, we thank you. Once again, Sassy, thank you very much for the information. A lot of information for our public. Nisha J, always in the building. Thank you very much. Aaliyah, once again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I want to tell everybody, go out in the world and be somebody. Go out in the world and be somebody. Thank you very much. Live at the barbershop, y'all. Take this education and make it happen. Hey, listen. Also, I want to promote my man right here, okay? For breast cancer
I was about to ask you what that was.
Yeah, these shirts are available. So for my man right now, the after hour, my man Craig, this is specifically for tonight. So if anybody can support the situation, we're going to list it on our site. We got the IG. We'll list everything. Craig, thank you very much for the sweat in presence of breast cancer awareness. Thank you very much. This is available. So Craig, all the information will be on our site, live at the barbershop. Thank you very much. Plus, I'll get you one.
Everybody have a good night.
I'll get you one if you go get that. You go get that test done. Plus, I got you.
Okay.
You showed me that result. Plus, I'll get you one.
Got you.
All right. Hey, Janine, tell Dre too. One on the way. Go get that test done.
He looking at me.
You like that,
So what? I'll come back with problem. Come on.
Thank you very much. Live at the barbershop.